Good morning, amazing, beautiful goddesses. Welcome to another adventure with my bestie, Miss Connie Rose.
Good
And the
morning.
question we have for you today is, are you knowing or are you growing? I'm so excited about today. I know Connie's got some juice in that book over there of hers.
I do.
And this is the last wealth file. Can you believe it?
Yeah, number 17.
Number 17.
Yeah, so if you haven't been following along, we are in this amazing book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, right?
Yes.
And wealth file number 17, this is how we start. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think they already know.
Mm.
Yeah,
Two snaps on that one.
exactly.
Strap it in, ladies. This might be a little confronting, and you're welcome. No extra charge.
That's exactly right. That's what you come to expect from us, right? So at the beginning of my life seminars, I introduce people to what I call the three most dangerous words in the English language. Those words are, I know that.
Mm.
So, how do you know if you know something? Simply, if you live it, you know it. Otherwise, you've heard about it, you read about it, or you talk about it, but you really don't know it. But bluntly, if you're not really rich and really happy, there's a good chance you still have some things to learn about money, success, and life.
Mm.
At the beginning of the book, during my broke days, I was fortunate to get some advice from a multimillionaire friend who had some compassion for my plight. Remember what he said to me? Harv, if you're not as successful as you'd like to be, there's something you don't know,
Mm.
right? It's just a new brain pattern.
Yes.
Isn't that great? That's the good news. Fortunately, I took his suggestion to heart and went from being a know it all to being a learn it all.
Mm.
From that moment on, everything changed. Poor people are often trying to prove that they're right. They put a mask on that as if they've got it all figured out, and it's just some stroke of bad luck or temporary glitch in the universe that has them broke or struggling. One of my more famous lines is, you can be right or you could be rich, but you
Mm.
can't be both.
Mm.
Being right means having to hold on to your old ways of thinking and being. Unfortunately, these are the ways that got you exactly where you are now. This philosophy also pertains to happiness in that you could be right or you could be happy. So there's a saying that author and speaker Jim Rohn uses that makes perfect sense here. If you keep doing what you've already done, you'll keep getting what you've already got. We've heard that before, right?
Preach it, girl. Preach it.
So you already know your way. What you need is to know some new ways. That's why I wrote this book. My goal is to give you some new mental files to add to the ones that you already have. New files mean new ways of thinking, new actions, and therefore new results. That's why it's imperative that you continue to learn and grow. Physicists agree that nothing in this world is static. Everything is alive and constantly changing. Take any plant. If a plant isn't growing, it is dying. It's the same with people as well.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hang on. If it's not growing, it's dying.
Yeah, there is no stagnation. Like, you're either moving towards growth or moving towards death. I
Write
mean,
that down, ladies. That goes for yourself, your
yes,
business,
your relationships.
your relationships, your bank account. If
Yeah,
it's not growing, it's dying.
exactly.
Mm.
There's no in between, there's no stagnation.
Mm.
Yeah. So, one of my favorite sayings is by author and philosopher Eric Hoffer, who said, the learners shall inherit the earth, while the learned will be beautifully equipped to live in a world that no longer exists. Another way of saying that is, if you're not continuously learning, you will be left behind. Poor people claim they can't afford to get educated due to the lack of time or money. On the other hand, rich people relate to Benjamin Franklin's quote, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance.
Amen.
I'm sure you've heard this before. Knowledge is power, and power is the ability to act. Whenever I offer the Millionaire Mind intensive program, I find it's interesting that usually the people who are the most broke say, I don't need the course, I don't have the time, or I don't have the money. Meanwhile, the millionaires and multimillionaires will register and say, if I can learn just one new thing or make just one improvement, it's worth it. By the way, if you don't have the time to do the things you want to do or need to do, here you go. You're most probably a modern slave.
Wait, what?
If
Say
you
that
don't
again.
have the time to do the things that you want to do or need to do, You're most probably a modern slave.
Wow.
Yeah, that hurts for some of us, doesn't it?
That's a wake-up call.
It is. And if you don't have the money to learn how to be successful, you probably need it more than anyone. I'm sorry, but saying I don't have the money just doesn't cut it. When will you have the money? What is going to be different a year or 2 years or 5 years from now? Here's the easy answer. Nothing. And you'll be saying the exact same words at that time. The only way I know for you to have the money you want is to learn how to play the money game inside and out. You need to learn the skills and strategies to accelerate your income, to manage money, and to invest it effectively. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. We've heard that before, right? Look, if what you've been doing were working, you'd already be rich and happy. Anything else your mind conjures up is a response, is nothing more than an excuse or justification. Like, I love he just lays it on the line.
Yeah.
So here's the good news. Success is a learnable skill. You can learn to succeed at anything. If you want to be a great golfer, you can learn how to do it. If you want to be a great piano player, you can learn how to do it. If you want to be truly happy, you can learn how to do it. If you want to be rich, you can learn how to do it. What do I say all the time? It's brain patterns and frequencies, right? And we could impact that. So it doesn't matter where you're starting from. What matters is that you're willing to learn.
Bingo. Willing.
One of my better known quotes is, every master was once a disaster. Isn't that great?
Some of us are both,
Well, both and, right?
Yeah, both and.
Exactly. So when I made the statement, this participant, an Olympic skier, stood up and said he asked to share. He was adamant, and for some reason I thought he was going to vehemently disagree. But to the contrary, he told everyone the story of how when he was a kid, he was the worst skier of all of his buddies. Wow. How they sometimes wouldn't call him to go skiing with them because he was so slow. So to fit in, he went to the mountain early each weekend and took lessons. Pretty soon, he not only kept up with his buddies, he surpassed them. Then he got involved in the racing club and learned from a top-ranked coach. His exact words were, I might be a master skier now, but I definitely started out a disaster. Harv's absolutely right. You can learn to succeed at anything. I learned how to succeed at skiing, and my next goal is how to learn how to succeed with money. So isn't that great?
That is so juicy.
Yeah. So no one comes out of the womb a financial genius. Every rich person.
No one? Are you sure? Are you sure there aren't some special people, blessed people, super anointed people?
Right.
No one.
Exactly. So every rich person learned how to succeed at the money game, and so can you. Remember, your motto is, if they can do it, I can do it. Becoming rich isn't about getting rich financially, as it's about, this is so good, Shannon, we talk about this, it's about whom you have to become in character and mind to get rich.
Oh, I'm so moved by that, right?
Right. Yes.
Who do you have to become?
And who do we get?
Character and in your mind.
Exactly.
To have what it is that you say that you want.
Exactly.
We are a creation.
Amen. So the fastest way to get rich and stay rich is to work on developing you. The idea is to grow yourself into a successful person. Again, your outer world is merely a reflection of your inner world. You are the root. Your results are the fruit.
You are the root. Your results are the fruit.
I told you this was a good one.
Where's my own piece of paper? I'm gonna have to go back and listen to the replay.
I know, right? So there's a saying I like. You take yourself with you wherever you go. If you grow yourself into a successful person in strength of character and mind, you will naturally be successful in anything and everything you do. You will gain the power of absolute choice. You will gain the inner power and the ability to choose any job, business, or investment arena, and you'll know you'll be a success. This is the essence of the book. When you are a level 5 person, you get level 5 results. But if you can grow into a level 10 person, you will get level 10 results. Heed this warning, however. If you don't do the inner work on yourself and somehow make a lot of money, it would most likely be a stroke of luck, and there's a good chance you'll lose it. And if you become a successful person inside and out, not only you'll make it, you'll keep it, you'll grow it, and most important, you'll be truly happy. Rich people understand the order of success is to be, do, have. Poor and middle class people believe the order to success is have, be, do.
Yes.
Most poor and middle class people believe if I have a lot of money, then I could do what I want, then I would be a success. Rich people understand if I became a successful person, I will be able to do what I need to do to have what I want, including a lot of money. Here's something else that only rich people know. The goal of creating wealth is not primarily to have a lot of money. The goal of creating wealth is to help you grow yourself into the best person you could possibly be.
Amen.
In fact, that is the goal of all goals, to grow yourself as a person. World-renowned singer and actress Madonna was asked why she kept changing her persona, her music, and her style every year. She responded that music was her way to express herself and that reinventing herself each year forced her to grow into the kind of person she wanted to be. So in short, this is so good. Success is not a what, it's a who. Success is not a what, it's a who. The good news is that who you are is totally trainable and learnable. So by no means are we perfect or even close to it. But when I look at who I am today, as opposed to who I was 20 years ago, I can see a direct correlation. Girl, how many reiterations of ourselves have we reinvented?
95. Yeah. Version 95.3.
Right. Yes. And can we not see a correlation between, where we were in our mindset, in our actions compared to all the things that we continually commit to learning and growing and
110%.
Yes. So I found another key difference between rich people and poor and middle class people is that rich people are experts in their field. Middle class people are mediocre in their field and poor people are poor in their field. How good are you at what you do? How good are you at your job? How good are you at your business? Do you want a totally unbiased way of knowing? Look at your paycheck. That'll tell you everything. It's simple. To get paid the best, you must be the best. So we generally recognize this in professional sports world, right? We see at the top athletes are getting paid the most money, right? So they also make the most money on endorsements. This same principle holds true for both the business and financial worlds. Whether you choose to be a business owner, a professional, a network marketing distributor, whether you're commission sales or a salary job, whether you're an investor in real estate, stocks, or anything else, all things being equal, the better you are at it, the more you'll earn. This is just another reason why being a continuous learner and enhancing your skill in whatever arena you are is so imperative. So on the topic of learning, it's worth noting that rich people not only continue to learn, they make sure that they learn from those who have already have been where they themselves want to go. Hello.
I've been preaching this all week.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't even read the chapter.
I know. Don't you love how like our
synchronicity
which is like a sign really to me from God that you're on track,
Well, we are on track. Come on.
I know, right? Well, it's because we're in the game.
Yeah, we're on the court.
Playing the game.
I feel like I left my protective gear somewhere else, right? So I'm like, where's my helmet? Where's my, pads?
Right?
Yeah. That's when you know you're actually playing.
Exactly. Yeah, because you feel a little sore afterwards.
Yes.
It might be your ego. It might be, your muscles. So one of the things that made the biggest difference for me personally was whom I learned from. I always made it a point to learn from the true masters in their respective fields, not those who claim to be experts, but those who had real world results to back up their talk. Rich people take advice from people who are richer than they are. Poor people take advice from their friends who are just as broke as they are. So he tells this story about meeting with an investment banker, and the investment banker was like asking him all these questions, and he's like, "We got this backwards. I want your financials. You don't need to look at my financials. If you want me to take advice from you, I need to see what your financials are."
Yeah.
Because he was questioning the guys, and I'm like, that's smart. So he said, and he was in shock. He said, I could tell no one had ever questioned him in his net worth before as a stipulation for investing with him. He said, but if you were going to climb Mount Everest, Would you hire a guide who's never been to the summit before, or would it be smarter to find someone who's made it to the top several times and knows exactly how to do it? So yes, I am absolutely suggesting you put serious attention and energy into continuously learning, and at the same time be cautious of whom you are learning and taking advice from. If you learn from those who are broke, even if they're consultants, coaches, planners, there's only one thing that they could teach you: how to be broke.
Wow.
By the way, I highly recommend you consider hiring a personal success coach. A good coach will keep you on track in doing what you said you want to do. Some coaches are life coaches, meaning they handle the gamut of everything, while other coaches have specialties that might include personal or professional performance, finances, business, relationships, health, even spirituality. Again, find out your prospective coach's background to ensure the coach has demonstrated success in the areas of importance to you. Just as there are successful paths to climbing Mount Everest, there are also proven routes and strategies for creating high income, fast financial freedom, and wealth. You have to be willing to learn, and you learn from them and use them. So, he suggested, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, investing 10% of your income into an education fund.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know that's what you do. Like, that's what I do. I have like 3 coaches, and then this other new program I'm in, like, there's coaching every day. And it's like, I plug in, implement, right?
Yeah.
Then the results come.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just blows my mind. It's because we've had coaches since 2007,
Yeah.
like consistently, multiple.
Yeah. Well, and I was just celebrating today. Was it today or yesterday? I put myself in a 90-day mastermind that is
I saw your post.
My butt. And here's what I put myself in rooms with people that make me mad, that make me want to throw up, that make me scared, that make me afraid, that make me glow and grow. Because that is like, I can actually see what they see and hear what they hear and feel what they feel and get a completely different perspective on something that I couldn't even fathom before being in this 90-day program, right?
Wow. Yeah.
And I know you put yourself in rooms like that. It's like, I've said this before, I've said it to people above me, beside me, and below me. If you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room.
Yeah.
Get your butt in a room that makes you afraid, because everything is outside. This is last week's podcast. Everything you want is outside of your comfort zone.
That's right.
I mean, do you remember, Connie, you're like, did you know you were going to be doing all this? I'm like, no, I didn't know I was going to be doing all this. I probably wouldn't have done it. Who does it if you, like, would you give birth if you knew, like,
the pain? Yeah.
No, but the way God orchestrates it is you forget. And then you're like, okay, maybe I'll have another one. Or not.
Yeah. You're speaking to 2 moms who had 1 child.
One, yeah. Well, hey, we hit the lottery and we stopped playing. So
that's exactly right. That's right. Yeah. Well, and I'm blessed to be in a accountability partnership with the top earner in my company.
Hello.
And to continue, and like what's happening is my team has doubled since mid-June.
Yeah.
Doubled. And so it's like, leveling up. That is not an accident.
No.
That I started as an accountability partner with her, and then here we go. And then, and like I said, like we have multiple people that we're plugging into.
Well, I also want to underscore, like, that is an energetic surge.
Yes.
So I remember when you called me, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be her accountability partner. Like, you were afraid. And what that energetically did to you and for you is like amplified everything you're already doing, everything that all your, daily methods of operations, but as hanging out with somebody as that caliber, it made you hungry for being on the trainings, dialing in, communicating with your people. I mean,
what else can I do? What else? Yeah.
It amplifies your game. And I remember when I was doing, my Goddess Glow program, just the women that were in week 1, it was like $15,000 extra just came in, like, and I'm like, we are money magnets. It's just, you're not hanging out with people that are flying.
Right.
So get in a room where people are flying.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Oh, for
get on
sure.
the magic carpet ride. I'm going. You want to come? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Really. Yeah. So, my new friend in Florida, highly
yes,
successful in real estate and investing. And it's like, I get to learn from him, and because he's done it and done it and done it.
yeah,
And so it's like, I look around like my sphere,
yeah,
and they say you're the average. Like if you're hanging out with, five broke people, you're going to be the six. If you're hanging out with five wealthy people, then you're going to be the six. If you're working out with five fit people, you're going to be the six. If you're not working out, if you're hanging out on the couch,
yeah.
with five people, you're going to be the six. So it's like, like we're both are strive to be that person, right? With our like all the things, right?
Okay.
And then we are in action around all those things. And it's like, in the midst breakdowns.
Oh, 100. Oh.
I mean, my mom is on hospice,
Yeah. And your
and
dad's not far behind.
my dad needs to be on hospice, and you know, and because I have orchestrated my life the way it is, I have automated tools that keep working when I'm not available, that so I could be there with them,
Yep.
and going into the next few months, like, I don't know what that's going to look like. And I'm so grateful that I have the life that I've built intentionally.
Yep.
I thought it was going to be for something else, and it gets to be this.
Yeah.
So that the paychecks keep coming,
Yeah.
and I'm present with my family.
And
When
what a gift, like that you get to be like
Yeah.
with your mom during these precious moments,
Yeah.
and your vehicle, your train keeps on chugging down the road
Yes.
to the
Yeah.
path that you said, this is where we're going.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you never know what you're building for.
Yes.
I'm really clear now
Mm.
that like all of this work,
Yeah.
and it's really been play, and and is it scary sometimes? Oh yeah.
Every day. Hello.
But that's how you're alive, right?
Yes. Come
And we
on.
are coachable. Like that's always the first thing, is like when somebody calls either one of us. I know we have these conversations all the time. Like, are you coachable?
Yeah.
I had a potential client that said she wanted to work with me, and I said, this is what it costs. And she's like, well, I need to get back with you. I'm like, great. Because if you're not coachable, don't waste the money. Like, if you're not going to implement. And I knew a little bit about her, and I've known her for a while, and I've seen what she's doing. And it's the same conversation we had 5 years ago. And like we just said, like, if you didn't have the money then, if nothing changes, you're not going to have the money in 5 years.
That's right.
And so, we invest everything into our people. And if they're not coachable, like that is like the level, like that we don't have to work with everybody.
And it's not even just like not coachable. It's like, are you hungry?
Yeah.
Are you really at the, like, I don't know about you, but most of the time for me, what moves me is my back is up against the wall. Like, so you were either trying to get away from something in your life, or you're moving towards your desires. And when I began, I was just trying to get off of the fence, just trying to get
off the roof.
Yeah, get off the roof. Gosh darn it. So it's like, are we, what is that, away motivated or towards motivated, right? So
the carrot or the stick.
Yeah. The carrot or the stick. Yes. So when we begin, it's like the stick, and was hungry for getting out of that. And so I really invite you to look at, is your back up against the wall? Are you ready to take action? Is the stick like, swatting you on the back and going, like, really, if your life keeps going the way it's been going, because like, let's be frank, if you looked back, isn't that how it's been for the last 6 months, year, 2 years? Or do you see a progression and you're actually starting to get off of the stick and onto the carrot, meaning creating your life with grace, flow, and ease?
Yeah.
Because it does happen as long as you don't quit.
Yes, that's the deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so, we talked about like investing part of your money every month into like that's what we do. Like we have been doing that for since like a long time, right?
Long time.
And so it's like, are you investing in your growth, or are you repeating the poor man's mantra of I already know?
Say that again.
Are you investing in your growth? Are you ready to learn and grow? Or are you repeating the poor man's mantra, I already know? So the more you learn, the more you can earn. Period.
Period.
Yeah. So
the more you earn, the more you learn, the more you earn.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. So where's your focus? Is it I'm going to grow, or I already know? Yeah.
Well, it's
So
so funny because we were just talking this morning. You and I know I got up at 6, needed to be out of the house by like 9:30. And I'm like, well, where did the time go? Oh yeah, I spent 2 or 3 hours like learning something this morning.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah, me too.
And
I know.
implementing.
Right. I know this. Yes.
And I'm like, okay, what'd you learn today? What'd you learn today?
It is. And isn't that great that we have that part of our life,
Divide and conquer, baby. Divide and conquer.
It is. Like, here's the hot tip of the day.
Hot tip.
So, like, I'm inviting everybody to take a deep breath and let's get centered on our heart again, because really the heart is so much more powerful than the mind is important, but the heart has a larger magnetic force.
Yes.
It is what is the antenna, really, the magnet that draws us in.
Yes.
And to what all the things that we, and so to build that heart resonance out, to take a deep breath, because there's more messages coming from the heart to the mind than from the mind to the heart. So let's get grounded in our heart. Take a deep breath. So our declaration is, I'm committed to constantly learning and growing.
I'm committed to constantly learning and growing.
And just feel that expansion. No, but it's like we said, it's who you become. It's who, not what. Success is a who, not what. So let's touch our mind. I have a millionaire mind.
I have a millionaire mind.
So the recommended actions, I wonder what they are. I wonder what they could be. I wonder if we know any resources here. So it says, commit to your growth. Each month, read at least a book, listen to an educational tape or CD, take a seminar on money, business, personal development, your knowledge, your confidence, and your successful soar. And the second thing is, consider hiring a personal coach to keep you on track. I wonder if we know anyone that could help with that.
No, I do. You're looking at 2 of the most high vibe women in not just Missouri, but all of the United States, in my opinion. So
very intentionally created.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I know you've got your PQ.
Yeah, so I do PQ coaching, which is positivity quotient, rewire your brain, right? And it was interesting when I was home visiting family, I was telling my cousin, he was like, now what are you all doing now? And I said, well, my company's Own Your Life. And like, I help people with all these, what do you want to work on? Like, is it, your mindset, right? So that's really the mindset coaching. I work with entrepreneurs in like implementing software strategies to help them grow. Then of course the frequency, which is like affects body, mind, and soul. So yeah, there's like different arenas that I play in that just bring me so much joy. And I'm leaving this weekend to be at a conference for that. I'm so excited to be around more high vibration people. And it's again like it's all an investment, right?
100%.
So yeah. So and then you have your
so I just completed a live masterclass. That I'm going to the feedback on that masterclass was off the chain. In fact, I have one girl who's watched the replay 3 times, and she is like, Shannon, you've just blown my mind. You've blown my heart. Really sharing about what life has been like for her and opening up, very vulnerable to one of the very last questions I ask in the master class is, what has you so loyal to a life that keeps you so stuck?
Yeah. Well, and again, it's those brain patterns, right? It's the familiar, it's the comfort zone.
It is the comfort zone. And that's it. That And I know when I heard it the first time, it like slapped me in the face. Like, wow, first of all, I didn't even know I was doing that. And then when I really looked, I'm like, yeah, actually I am. So what actions can I begin to take to disrupt that? And so we're shifting some things for her. And just the feedback is so powerful. I have messages from another woman this morning, like, I can't unhear what you're sharing. Like, you're spot on. Your energy is like fire. Like, what you call it? A volcano. You're like a volcano. So if you have been watching Connie and I's progress, I'm sure that you can see there are massive shifts happening. And what's so is that's because, again, we're putting ourselves in containers, learning and continuing to learn, continue to grow, continue to develop, continue to peel this onion of pain and shame and guilt and depression and, unworkability and, out of integrity, and just get it off. And so there's nothing wrong with where you're at. The question is, are you ready to start moving? And it could just look like 1 foot in front of another, 1 foot in front of another, 1 foot in front of the other. We can, walk with the walkers. We can run with the runners. We just won't sit with the sitters. And we are the space of love and graciousness. And that like you know who you are, whose you are. And around us, you're just going to begin to sweat greatness, because
I love it. Sweat greatness.
Baby.
That is what we're doing at the gym. We are sweating.
Oh, I'm like I am more alive and enlivened today than I've ever been. And if you would have asked me 5 years ago, 3 years ago, I would have been like, this is my best day ever. This is like my best life ever. And it just keeps getting better.
It does.
So the sooner you jump in, the more fun you can have, the more results that you will create. And like, I'm more clear than ever, we came for an experience. You did not come to survive a job. We are here to break generational chains.
Not to survive a job, survive your life. Who wants to survive when there's the opportunity to thrive?
Come on.
When did you decide that you were going to settle for that?
Yeah. When did you decide you weren't enough? You weren't worthy? You weren't loved? I know I at one point decided all that too.
Yeah.
And then when I got to the core of it, I made a new decision.
That's right.
So you can make that new decision today too. So reach out to either of us. We are on fire to just awaken, align, and activate your heart, your mind, your abundance frequencies for income and impact on this planet. We love you. We love you. We love you. We've got a new book gonna start next week.
We do.
What do we have, Miss Connie? Let's make the big reveal.
Okay. Well, let me show everybody.
I didn't let her know that I was going to do this.
I have it.
It's like, we're not going to share, but I'm so excited. Let's share.
I know. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Frequency, the power of personal vibration.
Come on, baby.
Penny Pierce.
And what did you say it was? It was like a beginner's guide.
It really is. It says in this is one of the forwards by Dr. Jean Houston, who's amazing. She writes, in this potent and evocative exploration of the new art and science of frequency dynamics, Pierce brings profound knowledge and speculation that inspires as it excites. So it's really like, kind of like, I would say a primer. Like, if when you hear Shannon and I talk about everything is frequency and raising our frequency and like different things that we do, it's really getting into like the nuts and the bolts about what is that really like, and how we can start to shift our frequency. And we could change, like we're dynamic, we get to shift it, right, and up level and all the things. So
well, what I'm excited about is, and I'm so present to in this moment right now, is this was the conversation that began our relationship.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
So 2006, I guess it was, I didn't even know what a pendulum was. Didn't know what frequencies were. And we started talking about essential oils and the power of the frequency and vibration of something so simple as an essential oil, which is plant-based.
Yeah.
To alter and impact. At that point, it was my little baby Tiny. Like, so this is going to be so good. We're bringing out the frequencies, all the woo for you. All right. Well, we've done enough damage for today. So I love you. I love you. I love you. Until the next episode, get in the car.
In the car.